Yeah, let me put it higher. We would like to invite you, if you know of anyone who would like to be on this retreat but couldn't, or who needs or would like to have the blessing of being here in name, that or any other thing that you would like to have on that altar over there by the Kuan Yin, or the Kuan Yin, then please feel welcome to, and we can offer all those beings blessings at the end of the retreat, put them in the middle of the room in our circle, or right on Saturday evening, and offer them blessings. So any names you would like to write down and put there, or any objects, please feel welcome to. If you haven't checked the interview list, please do, because those interviews just went up. If you don't see your name on it and you didn't have an interview on Wednesday, then please leave us a note. And then if you could come to the interview groups on time, that would be really appreciated. Let's cover everything. So last night I talked about the energy of mindfulness, and for those of you who knew, there is a foundational teaching called the Satipatthana Sutta, or the Four Foundations of Mindfulness. And it's really fascinating what the Buddha specifically invited us to be mindful of. So the first foundational area of invitation to be mindful of is the body, and included in that is urinating, defecating, eating, stretching, the postures, sitting, walking, standing, lying down, a particular contemplation of the body parts, which we won't go into, a contemplation of what happens after consciousness leaves the body at death, the decomposition process. There are, and looking at the elements of the body, the way that the universe, the earth, expresses itself in our body, and the Buddha says that earth lives in our body as the expression of hardness and softness, or pressure. And air expresses itself as vibration. And temperature, of course, is warm and cool and in between. And water, we can feel the water in our mouths right now, and on our eyeballs, maybe in our nostrils, especially if we have a cold, in our sinuses, and a sense of connectedness as well. And so we're seeing the world expressed in our bodies in those ways. This knowing that we're cultivating to the body extends to the area of pleasant, unpleasant, or neither pleasant or unpleasant. That's the second foundation. So we also have spoken about that. And it's fascinating, out of all our experiences, that's what the Buddha would invite us to. Notice this notice it. Notice how pleasant and unpleasantness arises, or neither. And then the third foundation is notice the mind. What's in the mind? Anger, grief, mindfulness, a calm mind, restlessness. So what we would sometimes call emotions, or the Buddha calls mental factors, those qualities and the thoughts associated with them when the thoughts are present. And then the last is mindfulness of dharmas, and there's a whole list I'm not going to go into because of time. This mindfulness is not kind of like that knowing that, let's say, we have when we're driving. You know, let's say we're driving and we're also talking to someone, and we know we're driving, but it's kind of like this very basic knowing. Like, I know I'm driving, but we couldn't really say that we're fully present for the driving. So we're not talking about a kind of basic awareness. In Abhidharma, which is a very detailed account of the mind, the definition, one of the definitions of mindfulness is that it's not like a cork bobbing on the surface of the water, being pushed hither and thither. It's like a pebble dropping down under the surface of the water into the depths. So another word that some teachers use is penetrating, that this quality of knowing penetrates the experience. That's one way to talk about it. Maybe another image, because I love to work with images, is a time maybe when you have been with a dear friend who is sick, or a pet who's sick, and that full presence and caring, that undivided attention to this being who you care about. And because they're dying, the preciousness of their life is so immediate that we're fully attentive. And even if they smell, even if their face is puffy, even if they're not, like, quote, giving us anything back, like, we are totally attentive. That present moment, undivided attention, presence and caring to the experience, for me describes some of the fullness of mindfulness. That the word mindfulness doesn't always do it for me, but that kind of presence. And actually, if we want to evoke it, we're dying ourselves every moment. And we can come to this moment right now with that kind of quality of, I'm 100% present. There's a beautiful poem by Rumi called The Guest House, and he says, this is for those of you who are new, some of you have heard this poem a lot. It's sort of like a mantra, which I love to chant internally to myself. This being human is a guest house, every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. They may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And I love that image. I work often with that invitation of being actually a host at a dinner party. And I don't know, in London when I was growing up, someone would give a party and then all these other people would turn up. You know, when you were young, I don't know if that happened here, but it would like be what we call gate crashes. There'd be all these gate crashes. And where I grew up, my father invited a lot of business people to the house. He was an interior decorator, and one of the ways he tried to sell of this firm called Knoll International was to invite people into the house and impress them with how our house was decorated. And so we were taught to stand by the door and welcome everyone in. And I was very resistant, you can imagine. And someone would come in and, now as a practitioner, that's how I feel, like sometimes like, why are you coming into my party? Like pain in the knee or depression or restlessness or irritation. And with mindfulness, bringing in that quality of wanting to really know and companion the experience. As a host, can I notice how they're dressed, what their energy is? So how is restlessness? Are they kind of all windy and flighty as they come to the door? What is the quality in the body? Can I welcome restlessness in? Hi, can I allow you too to be a guest in my party? How about doubt? How would doubt come in? That like maybe a little grumpy, like I don't like anything you're saying, kind of like hunched up. Oh, this is the quality of doubt. Welcome. What about like a short breath? How's a short breath coming into the party? Oh, short breath. This kind of tightness and, wanting a deeper breath but not quite have. Oh, welcome, welcome. Each experience, our lives being welcomed. That's the invitation. To know the qualities of our experience. We are inviting you to rest, particularly with the body again, as an anchor to grow this capacity of knowing and welcoming. If you find that your mind naturally wants to open to whatever's arising or choose a different object to know, please feel supported to do that. If you want to become aware of awareness. So let's practice and see how it goes. It's always helpful to begin with our intention. How would you, in your own words, invite this quality of open-hearted presence? As you do, again taking a moment to turn towards the fact that you invited this and appreciating that. There's already tremendous caring and wisdom there to intend to be mindful. See that, how already the beautiful qualities are expressing themselves in us. Or just that this is a lovely intention. No matter what happens next, I appreciate intending this. Inviting a relaxation into the support that's been given. Acknowledging the sounds. Quality in the air. Notice the earth element expressing itself right now in your feet. Pressure, hardness. This is the world living through me, or through this body expressing itself. Can I sit by the bedside of this sensation? Allowing awareness to move into the knees. Hard, soft, stretching, pulling. The touch of cloth against the thighs. Again, how the buttocks receive the weight of the body. That pressure there in the buttocks. It might be that we have already touched an experience that we describe as painful. Maybe it's calling us already. See if this guest actually is a threesome that arrive often together as a trio. The sensation, just the sensation, separate from everything else. Hot or pulsating or vibrating. Sometimes discerning how that extends out from the center. Is it stronger in the middle or at the edges. See if for this moment it's possible to receive this expression of life. And if you feel a resistance, the guest of aversion or not wanting, see if it's possible to allow this guest to be there too. I see you. It makes sense you're here. It's helpful to drop any thoughts and experience the not wanting in its own right as a guest. How is this guest arriving? What qualities? Does not wanting arrive with the guest of unpleasantness? Can you separate that out? Here's the sensations. Here's unpleasant, second foundation. And here's not wanting. I see all three of them at the party. And then sometimes it's helpful to come to a different object, so let's continue. Coming up the body. Moving and acknowledging the touch of cloth against the abdomen. Or maybe you can feel the weight of breakfast or something you've drunk recently in the stomach. And as we come up, noticing the movement of the chest and abdomen as the air comes in and out. Bringing our full attention, this open-hearted companioning or knowing. Just this breath, nothing else. How is the chest moved in its expansion, and then how's the releasing? No agenda, just the allowing. This is life visiting with this breath. Might be you feel the movement in the back. It might be you can feel it in the arms and hands. Might be that the breath is clearest in the coolness of the air as it moves into the nostrils. That skin is so sensitive there. It feels the touch of air coming in and going out. Wherever you feel breath or sounds or whatever you're taking to know. See if you can continue to sustain this companioning or awareness, this knowing of the experience in the fullness of its expression. And if the mind has split already, it's like, I know this guest, no problem. The mind splitting and returning. Perhaps a judgment has arrived. This is the quality of it. Hard. Kind of shutting down. I know this energy. No problem. Another guest arriving. Returning to the body and breath. There is not a right breath or a wrong breath, just the breath to know. There's not a right sensation or wrong sensation. Just sensation to know, companion. See if you know where you are. As we come close to the end of this period, see if you would like to reflect on the moments of your returning, appreciating that effort. It's easy to go into what we wanted to have happen and didn't. For now, as a practice, see if you can turn towards those beautiful energies again. Your patience, perseverance, or determination. The wisdom or understanding that we are on a path of healing that inspired this patience or perseverance or determination, that faith, or perhaps there's another quality you recognize that inspired you to this patience. Reflecting on the one or more than one moments of mindfulness, the allowing and knowing, appreciating that. Thank you for your efforts.
Thank you for listening. To learn how you can support the teachers and Dharma Seed, please visit dharmaseed.org/donate.